You know, at this point of filming, we're almost done with phase 2 heightened alert. So that's good news. We can all go out and eat, barbecue, Korean, have wine outside, etc. etc. And today's discussion is about Mapletree Commercial Trust, which owns Vivo City. And today I'm going to share with you the first key point, which is Vivo is definitely going to take a hit. A bit negative, the sentiment of how I'm discussing things, but follow me through this discussion. Phase 2 being almost over is good news, but I have exactly some numbers. I'll touch on Mapletree Commercial Trust's concerns that I have in today's video especially. So if you're keen to hear more, continue watching on. Hi guys, welcome back. Now, okay, let's start with Vivo City. And if you haven't seen a previous video I've done before on MCT, look out for that. I'll leave towards the end of the video also. And the first thing about Vivo City is a very key component of MCT's total net property income. It contributes 40 to 45%, thereabouts on an annual basis, back in the good old times. So let me show you the first key data, which is footfall to Vivo City itself. What do you see over here? You see that it looks like footfall actually spiked up, right, in April, May, June, which is first quarter 2021 to their books itself. But actually, if you look carefully, you look at the dotted line, not the solid line. I don't know why they presented it this way. But if you look at the dotted line over here, you realize that it has been dropping since April, correct? Most natural, because we had tightened measures and stuff. But now, the measures are even tighter than back then a few months ago. So what can we expect from Vivo City's footfall? It's going to trend lower continuously for this few months itself, which is July, August. Maybe September, it could recover, but July, August, I think is baked in already. It's going to be poor, which means second quarter for Vivo's performance should be poor. I think that is reasonable an assumption. What we need to make sure, especially if you are a fan also of Mapletree Commercial Trust, is Q3, because Q3 is October, November, December. That is Christmas season. Historically, they clock the most sales. Tenants all make money over there because shopping, right? Correct, there's tanks in Vivo City. So Q3, I hope there's no measures of social distancing. If not, Q3 is going to take a hit also. And let's look at Q1 again versus historical years, because I'm going to put some numbers to you, especially if you're new to Mapletree Commercial Trust. If we put things into perspective, you realize that Q1 recovered a bit, but it's still some way off back on the good old days. So back in good old days before COVID-19, Mapletree could contribute 40 million for Q1 itself in terms of net property income. So now about 30 million. I think Q2 will be slightly lower. So hopefully recovery is intact. And with that, let's move on to the second discussion point, which is mTower. Now let me show you some data on mTower first. mTower previously was named PSA building. And quite obviously, PSA moved away already. That's why it's no longer called PSA building. So no special surprises. But mTower, if you look at the last quarter's announcement, they said committed lease has surged up to 91.7%. I think somebody signed in, somebody big. But then, bad news. This quarter, they announced that the committed lease has dropped back down to 70+%, as you can see over here. Someone big has terminated. And if you look at the management's communications, they did also mention that someone big terminated and they received 16 months of compensation. And management has also mentioned that, you know, this kind of termination is not common, and that is why there was a compensation big enough for a runway to find a replacement. But as always, mTower is not a new building already anyway. I think it's not easy to fill that up. There are a lot of new office towers out there competing for tenants itself. So I'm not too sure if they can fill it up quickly, but at least there's some runway. And that's why if you look at the numbers on the paper itself, how they present it, you realize that mTower actually had a very big net property income that bumped up numbers. But again, that probably factors in this 16 months compensation, which means it's one-off, which means subsequent quarters, that contribution will drop, correct? So again, looking forward, some more not so nice news lah, in some way or other. No. Now, the main thing that really got me into this discussion also is, I was thinking, what can Mapletree Commercial Trust look ahead moving forward? I do know that MBC2 was recently acquired about a year plus back. That's good, that bumped up, you know, and Mapletree Business City's contribution in total. But as I look across a lot of REITs, you know, in this channel, I look across a lot of REITs. If you have followed me, again, if you haven't subscribed, smash sure subscribe, because I do cover REITs in Singapore and share you my perspective. I realized that a lot of REITs actually made move in the last year. Suntec REIT, which I just showed on this channel, actually purchase Australian properties and stuff, and realize that Mapletree Commercial Trust doesn't seem to have any more things in the pipeline, at least in my opinion. I do know they have a few right of refusals for new properties such as Vista in Pasir Panjang, such as Harbourfront Mall as well as Harbourfront Office Tower. I actually don't like Harbourfront too much. Harbourfront is not exciting at all. In fact, I sometimes go to Harbourfront to eat simply because I know there's no crowd. So I'm super familiar with Harbourfront. Then also St. James. I think St. James has something committed from Dyson, if I'm not wrong. That maybe is exciting, but beyond that, the other properties don't seem that exciting. So I don't know what they have in the pipeline, and that got me a bit concerned. Where is DPU going to grow? Are we better off looking at the rest of what Mapletree can offer now? So that's my perspective, at least to things. So with that, if you agree, smash on like button. If you disagree, smash on dislike. I'm okay with it. I would like to hear your point of view also. And if you have questions, drop them in the comment sections. And just last shout out, I've actually completed the course that I have prepared for new investors. So look for links below. Today will be the launch of things. So I actually filmed this to make a kind of announcement for that also. If you're a new investor looking to learn how to research, look for our links without thinking too much about a free webinar, having to prove you with a lot of ads and stuff. No need. Very simple, research. Because stock investing is about research and doesn't really fit everybody. So this gives you a very good entry point to things. So hopefully that value adds to you. And with that, I'll sign off. And if you haven't seen the MCT video, check it out also. I will see you in a future video. Take care and goodbye.